Dear students, please open your textbook before you start listening. Underline important lines and mark difficult words. Use earphone or headphone for full concentration. Happy listening and happy learning. Page number 137. Many changes during puberty, such as new hair growth pattern, are signals that sexual maturation is taking place. On the other hand, the actual transfer of germ cells between two people needs a special organ for the sexual act, such as the penis, when it is capable of becoming erect in mammals such as humans. The baby is carried in the mother's body for a longer period and will be breastfed later. The female reproductive organ and breast will need to mature to accommodate these possibilities. Let us look at the systems involved in the process of sexual reproduction. 8.3.3 A. Male reproductive system. The male reproductive system in figure 8.10 consists of portions which produce the germ cell and other portions that deliver the germ cell to the site of fertilization. The formation of germ cell or sperm take place in the testes. These are located outside the abdominal cavity in scrotum because sperm formation requires a lower temperature than the normal body temperature. We have discussed the role of the testes in the secretion of the hormone testosterone in the previous chapter. In addition to regulating the formation of sperm, testosterone brings about changes in appearance seen in boys at the time of puberty. The sperms formed are delivered through the vas deferens, which unites with a tube coming from the urinary bladder. The urethra thus forms a common passage for both the sperm and urine. Along the path of the vas deferens, glands like the prostate and the seminal vesicles and their secretions, so that the sperms are now in a fluid which makes their transport easier, and this fluid also provides nutrition. The sperms are tiny bodies that consist of mainly genetic material and a long tail that help them to move towards the female germ cells. 8.3.3 B. Female reproductive system. The female germ cells or eggs are made in the ovaries. They are also responsible for the production of some hormones. Look at figure 8.11 and identify the various organs in the female reproductive system. Page number 138. When a girl is born, the ovaries already contain thousands of immature eggs. On reaching puberty, some of these start maturing. One egg is produced every month by one of the ovaries. The egg is carried from the ovary to the womb through a thin oviduct or fallopian tube. The two oviducts unite into an elastic bag-like structure known as the uterus. The uterus opens into the vagina through the cervix. The sperm enters through the vaginal passage during sexual intercourse. They travel upward and reach the oviduct where they may encounter the egg. The fertilized egg, zygote, start dividing and form a ball of cells or embryo. The embryo is implanted in the lining of the uterus where they continue to grow and develop organs to become fetus. We have seen in earlier section that the mother's body is designed to undertake the development of the child. Hence, the uterus prepares itself every month to receive and nurture the growing embryo. The lining thickens and is richly supplied with blood to nourish the growing embryo. The embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of a special tissue called placenta. This is a disc which is embedded in the uterine wall. It contains villi on the embryo side of the tissue. On the mother's side are blood spaces which surround the villi. This provides a large surface area for glucose and oxygen to pass from the mother to the embryo. The developing embryo will also generate waste substances which can be removed by transferring them into the mother's blood through the placenta. The development of the child inside the mother's body takes approximately 9 months. This child is born as a result of rhythmic contraction of the muscle in the uterus. 8.3.3 C. What happens when the egg is not fertilized? If the egg is not fertilized, it lives for about 1 day. Since the ovary releases 1 egg every month, the uterus also prepares itself every month to receive a fertilized egg. Thus, its lining becomes thick and spongy. This would be required for nourishing the embryo if fertilization had taken place. Now, however, this lining is not needed any longer. So the lining slowly breaks and comes out through the vagina as blood and mucus. This cycle takes place roughly every month and is known as menstruation. It usually lasts for about 2 to 8 days. 8.3.3 D. Reproductive health. As we have seen, the process of sexual maturation is gradual and takes place while general body growth is still going on. Therefore, some degree of sexual maturation does not necessarily mean that the body or the mind is ready for sexual act or for having and bringing up children. How do we decide if the body or the mind is ready for this major responsibility? All of us are under many different kinds of pressures about these tissues. There can be pressure from our friends for participating in many activities, whether we really want to or not. There can be pressure from families to get married and start having children. There can be pressure from government agencies to avoid having children. In this situation, making choices can become very difficult. Page number 139. We must also consider the possible health consequences of having sex. We have discussed in class 9 that diseases can be transmitted from person to person in a variety of ways. Since the sexual act is a very intimate connection of bodies, it is not surprising that many diseases can be sexually transmitted. These include bacterial infections such as gonorrhea and syphilis, and viral infections such as warts and HIV/AIDS. Is it possible to prevent the transmission of such diseases during the sexual act? Using a covering called a condom for the penis during sex helps to prevent transmission of many of these infections to some extent. The sexual act always has the potential to lead to pregnancy. Pregnancy will make major demands on the body and the mind of the woman, and if she is not ready for it, her health will be adversely affected. Therefore, many ways have been devised to avoid pregnancy. These contraceptive methods fall in a number of categories. One category is the creation of a mechanical barrier so that sperm does not reach the egg. Condom on the penis or similar coverings worn in the vagina can serve this purpose. Another category of contraceptive act by changing the hormonal balance of the body so that eggs are not released and fertilization cannot occur. These drugs commonly need to be taken orally as pills. However, since they change hormonal balances, they can cause side effects too. Other contraceptive devices such as the loop or the copper T are placed in the uterus to prevent pregnancy. Again, they can cause side effects due to the irritation of the uterus. If the vas deferens in the male is blocked, sperm transfer will be prevented. If the fallopian tube in the female is blocked, the egg will not be able to reach the uterus. In both cases, fertilization will not take place. Surgical method can be used to create such block. While surgical methods are safe in the long run, Surgery itself can cause infection and other problem if not performed properly. Surgery can also be used for removal or unwanted pregnancies. These may be misused by people who do not want a particular child, as happens in illegal sex selective abortion of female fetuses. For a healthy society, the female male sex ratio must be maintained. Because of reckless female feticides, child sex ratio is declining at an alarming rate in some section of our society. Although prenatal sex determination has been prohibited by law. We have noted earlier that reproduction is the process by which organisms increase their population. The rate of birth and death in a given population will determine its size. The size of the human population is a cause for concern for many people. This is because an expanding population makes it harder to improve everybody's standard of living. However, if inequality in society is the main reason for poor standard of living for many people, the size of the population is relatively unimportant. If we look around us, what can we identify as the most important reasons for poor living standards? Page number 140. Questions. Number 1. How is the process of pollination different from fertilization? Question 2. What is the role of the seminal vesicles and the prostate gland? Question 3. What are the changes seen in girls at the time of puberty? Question 4. How does the embryo get nourishment inside the mother's body? Question 5. If a woman is using a copper T, will it help to protecting her from sexually transmitted diseases? What you have learnt. 1. Reproduction, unlike other life processes, is not essential to maintain the life of an individual organism. Next, reproduction involves creation of a DNA copy and additional cellular apparatus by the cell involved in the process. Next, various organisms use different modes of reproduction depending on their body design. Next, in fission, many bacteria and protozoa simply divide into two or more daughter cells. Next, organisms such as hydra can regenerate if they are broken into pieces. They can also give out bud which mature into new individuals. Next, roots, stems and leaves of some plant develop into new plant through vegetative propagation. Next, these are examples of asexual reproduction where new generations are created from a single individual. Next, sexual reproduction involves two individuals for the creation of a new individual. Next, DNA copying mechanism create variation which are useful for ensuring the survival of the species. Modes of sexual reproduction allow for greater variation to be generated. Next, reproduction in flowering plant involves transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma, which is referred to as pollination. This is followed by fertilization. Next, changes in the body at puberty, such as increase in breast size in girls and new facial hair growth in boys, are signs of sexual maturation. Next, the male reproductive system in human being consists of testes, which produce sperms, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, prostate gland, urethra, and penis. Next, the female reproductive system in human being consists of ovaries, fallopian tube, uterus, and vagina. Next, sexual reproduction in human being involves the introduction of sperm in the vagina of the female. Fertilization occurs in the fallopian tube. Next, contraception to avoid pregnancy can be achieved by the use of condoms, oral pills, copper T, and other methods. Page number 141. Now exercises. Number 1. Asexual reproduction takes place through budding in A. Amoeba, B. Yeast, C. Plasmodium, D. Leishmania. Question 2. Which of the following is not a part of the female reproductive system in human being? A. Ovary. B. Uterus. C. Vas deferens. D. Fallopian tube. Question 3. The anther contain A. Sepals. B. Ovules. C. Pistil. D. Pollen grains. Question 4. What are the advantages of sexual reproduction over asexual reproduction? Question 5. What are the functions performed by the testes in human beings? Question 6. Why does menstruation occur? Question 7. Draw a label diagram of the longitudinal section of a flower. Question 8. What are the different methods of contraception? Question 9. How are the modes of reproduction different in unicellular and multicellular organisms? Question 10. How does reproduction help in providing stability to population of species? Question 11. What could be the reason for adopting contraceptive methods? Thank you, students. Please listen twice for better understanding. Hope you liked the video and subscribe for upcoming videos.